Okay, runners, on your mark, get set those watches because we're going to talk about running in France.
Bonjour, okay, it's the big day, le jour J pour la Corrida de Noël, and we're getting ready to leave for the start of the race. Exciting.
I've been living in France for about 6 months now, and I moved here to get married and be with my husband, who is half French and half German. Previously, I was living in New York City. I am a longtime runner, 4-time New York City marathoner, former member of the New York City Road Runners Club. When I moved to France, I knew that I wanted to find a running community and, just kind of get back into the swing of things because running is really my favorite exercise or activity to do. My husband told me about this tradition that happens every December in our neighborhood. It's called La Corrida de Noël, and it's actually a set of different races that all take place on one day, different courses for different strokes for different folks. And he really pushed me to register for it, even though honestly I hadn't really been running very much just prior to the wedding because I had an injury last year on my leg, and I was a little bit worried about, putting too much pressure on myself. But I decided to go ahead and sign up and see, what I could do without making it too big of a deal. And so I put myself on a training plan. I actually joined a gym really close to where we live here. And I did some workouts on the treadmill, and I did some workouts just along the Seine River because we live very close to the magnificent Seine. It just happened last weekend. I finally got there. I did it. Let me give you a little background about it. There were, I think, 4 or 5 different courses that you could do. There was a course for kids. There was a 5-kilometer race. And then there were 2 10-kilometer courses that you could do. One of which was called the performance race, which was more for the serious athletes, and then another that was called the Les Pères Noël, or the Santa race, basically. So it's a race where you get dressed up in holiday cheer, whether you are Santa or, in my case, Mrs. Claus, or, oh gosh, there were reindeer, there were Christmas trees, there were elves, of course, there were dinosaurs. I mean, there were all kinds of random costumes and whatnot, but I chose the fun one because I wanted to be in that festive spirit and not make it, too big of a deal. So let me talk about some of the things that are interesting or different about, doing a race in France. Obviously, the biggest thing for me is like kilometers. Of course, we do run 10K and whatnot in the States, but I wanted to train myself to think about kilometers per hour as opposed to miles per hour, just because, I feel like I live here, I need to live in kilometers now. And so that was an adjustment for me. But, I set a goal for myself and I worked on it. I trained for this race for about 6 or 7 weeks, just gradually building up to doing, at least one 10K every week, and then some supporting runs and some interval training and stuff like that. But to get back to the fun, it was just, it was such a delight. My husband prepared a vin chaud, this is the French word for a mulled wine, and he brought it in a thermos, and he was there to watch for me on the course. He cheered for me, and then at the end, he met me at the finish line, and he had this warm, spiced wine, and it was just literally the best thing that ever happened. I feel like now I'm already becoming part of the running community. If you know of any other running communities in Paris that you could suggest for me, I do want to join some sort of a local club, or just get together with a group of people to run from time to time. But I highly recommend it, even if you're traveling. For example, I spent time in Madrid a few years back, and I joined up with a local expat group of runners. It was really fun because we would meet there on Saturdays at this cafe. We would leave all our stuff there. The cafe owners were so nice. They were also Americans. And then we would come back after the run and have brunch together or drinks or whatever it was. And it was just so cool to meet other people, get some activity in. And of course, you're always motivated by having other people to run with. Yeah, that's what I sort of saw this as a start to kind of, getting my feet wet in the Paris running community. And I hope to be able to do more runs like this. I did get a medal The mayor of our town was there, which was really great. And oh gosh, it was very much like a festive vibe. They had bands along the way. We had a lot of spectators, a lot of kids, holding their hands out and giving you the high five. And oh, it was freezing. It was so cold. But I was really happy with my costume. I think if you're wearing a costume to run, especially for 10K or longer, you have to try it out. I hadn't really tried it out, but I planned well and I was really comfortable. In the end, I was so happy that I did it. A little sore today, but I'll be getting back into it and looking forward to whatever comes next. All right, take care. Happy running.